The announcement by the Prime Minister from ramparts of Red Fort on August 15 that the government had decided to appoint a Chief of Defence Staff (CDS) to consolidate the defence might of the country, is in tune with the Modi regime's consistent effort to build India as a world power that would play a meaningful role in the both economic development and security at the global level. Stop para. It addresses the logical requirement of bringing defense forces and the nuclear, cyber and space domain under one umbrella of strategic planning, takes forward the concept of integrated combat on land, air and sea in today's world, which for India is extremely important considering the hostile Steno military alliance against us and makes way for a new level of coordination that would achieve speedy, cost effective and futuristic defense acquisitions, manpower development and strategic development, a helpful factor in the implementation of the CDS idea is the successful working of the chiefs of staff committee over years with a rotational chairmanship that produced a tradition of consensual thinking on defense and security. I saw this during my associations with COSC is JIC Chairman. The decision on issues of war and peace deserve to be taken through an arrangement that through the voice of the defense chiefs directly to the political executive governing the sovereign nation. The Prime Minister has in his rule constantly worked for elimination of red tape, speedy decision making and coordinated execution of projects and schemes that had been announced. Taking into account the security challenges for India, it is easy to envisage the role of the army as the pivot of our defense responses, with the Air Force rendering it tactical support and the Navy ensuring a strategic backing in the event of a warlike conflict developing outside of our shores. CDS will steal the strategic command while using the combined wisdom of our defense chiefs in handling the various theaters of war. The new step will prove extremely rewarding in terms of the rapid consolidation of our defense potential that it will ensure the old world prejudices earlier voiced by bureaucracy do not hold anymore. Post Cold War, the world has transited to an era of proxy war, cross-border conflict and insurgencies instigated by assertion of subnational identity. Terrorism is the new instrument of proxy war as the convert offensive and replacing open warfare. National government are having to fight the adversaries on their own soil. This is bringing in the army to take on cross border terroristic operating at the behest of the external enemy. India is the prime example of a country facing a proxy war unleashed by the hostile neighbor Pakistan through the heavily armed Mujahideen infiltrated from across the border, especially in Kashmir. For combating this Kashmir Jihad, India has had to induct the army, which, in turn, had to separately train the troops to take on the terrorist on our home ground. Stop. The army is attuned to facing a visible enemy and using the maximum force. Stop. The rise of terrorism was a challenge for it for the reason that the terrorists could spring from their hideouts existing in midst of the civilian population, and yet the army had to put them down with restraint as the counter-terror operation had to ensure minimal collateral damage. Stop para. CDS will have on his hand the work of preparing India for dealing with an external enemy, strategic strategizing the proxy war and raising special forces to take on terrorists on our own soil. Stop an attack like 26/11. There are intelligent reports about a further terror offensive from the sea would need involvement of Navy and Coast Guard, just as further surgical strike across our borders to destroy the base camp of terrorists needed joint planning of army and air force for readying troopers stop para mountain warfare, of which Kargil proved to be the first testing ground, is now a part of India's strategic planning, resting on the use of both the army and air force. Stop defense of Indian Ocean and security of the Indo-Pacific maritime region are new elements in the character of India's CDES. Coordination between civilian intelligence agencies and the Chief of Defense Intelligence would achieve greater perfection under the CDS. Stop the structural and operational consolidation for maximizing India's defense and security potential is therefore not coming a day too soon. Stop. Both Defense Planning Committee and the National Security Council provide the CDS with an interface with the PM. Stop. And finally, in regard to decision making in a war-like situation, the vital thing is that the input from CDS is fully weighed in, even though the decision would lay with the political executive exercising the covering power of democratic nation. Stop. On the whole, there is a case for early implementation of the CDS idea to strengthen our defense.